Tormentor!
The Tormentor! Hello and good evening. My name is John and I'm joined by...
The Tormentor!
Mentor!
MPG.
And this is... We're playing Queenswitch 2, The Tormentor. It's part of my Steam cleaning series where I game my Steam library, eventually and arbitrarily rate and overview them at the way to playtime. I don't quite know what the game is, but the game's at random. This was released in August of 2022 by Spiderweb Software. I like the first one, Queenswitch 1. I did not finish it because I don't finish games typically. We're gonna start a new game and then try to lower the volume a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very loud. What is
Queenswitch 2 is apparently for
the Queen wishes for some volume control.
Some headphones, yeah, exactly.
Are we a man or are we a lady or a man?
Are we let's go ahead and be a man because it's a Queen's wish.
Oh
so,
wait, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we're putting that shit-eating grin on her. Oh God, yes. Yes.
Okay. This one. This one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah, like just a total like surfer
This is white guy dreads. Just seeing it now with a different color.
Yeah. Oh my God. Surfer dude. Blonde.
Okay. Extra details. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Couscous is back, baby.
Yes.
We're playing normal.
Although Couscous was a different
parallel year. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Empire Haven rules over the eighth of the known world. Queen Charles III rules Haven absolutely. Her oldest son will become the king someday. Her oldest daughter is shot as sage, and the most trusted advisor. Queen Charles III is your mother, but your mother is ill. She has forced you to join in maintaining the empire. It is your price to pay for a life of luxury. Not seen here. She has spent the last 2 years sending you all over doing jobs large and small, sometimes diplomacy, sometimes battle. His list of tasks, and it is endless. Your brother and you have final journey together. You are the Rokjai? Land of the warriors, the bright birth of your father. All part of the family business, just simple bit of diplomacy. Until you awaken early one morning.
Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun! With syphilis.
I hate that overnight syphilis.
That, yeah.
It's just a 24-hour syphilis, Mom.
If you have finished Queenswitch the Conqueror, you might have a code and to record what you did in that game. If you don't, we don't have a code.
We don't have a code. Because we didn't finish Queenswitch.
We didn't finish it. I guess I could Google some codes, but...
Yeah.
This is a 4x3 game, I'm thinking. It's in a 16x9 window, but this is definitely like a 4x3 game.
Tiny.
I could have, I guess, chosen a weaker resolution, but well, first off, let's just be clear. This is made by a very small team, so
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I love it. King Graham.
Oh yeah. You stumble half awake across the crew bedroom to your rogue guide provided for you. It is all very rustic, far from luxury. You used to back in the royal palace, as best you can expect from the row. The plan was for you and your brother, Prince Sutter, to hunt and rest for a few days before returning to your mother's unending list of missions. It is starting to feel painfully like actual work. But something is wrong. You hear shouting and fighting, normal sounds when you're on the hunt, but you are in the barracks. All right.
We're under attack. Or maybe there's a party.
Okay. Can I get these boots?
Get them boots.
The sitting room is where you came to rest after your hunts with Sutter. I'm going to say it wrong every time. Dispatches all over the Empire ways down the shelves in the corner, happily ignored. Your senses start to come into focus. Something is snarling on the other side of the door to the east. Fortunately, your smartly hunting blade is on the chest in the corner. It's not much, but it can sort of defend you. Take your sword out of the box.
Get that sword.
I like how this A. Push a button.
Yeah. Gotta equip it. There we go.
80 gold reward. The samurai blade feels cheap and flimsy in your hand. It's an ornate and expensive weapon with a long, glorious history. Your mother has you wear it everywhere to show the majesty of Haven or something like that. You suspect that using it to defend yourself from mystery assailant will never part of her plan.
Oh, goo.
Goo. When into the workshop, a skinny, snarling beast leaped from behind a pillar. Much to your relief, it's only a cow wolf. A cow wolf. These pests are found out through the
Uh,
no lands, wretched magical creations, parodies of human, but incapable of thought. When you met them during your miserable missions in Sacramento, they were called Mirelings. Here, they're known. They're Kai wolves, not new word to remember. Same nonsense. I know it's not Sacramento, but bear with me.
yeah.
Oh, that just jumped at me.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're about to start on Thursday. I'm going to start playing a new D&D game, and it's the
Oh,
Odyssey of the Dragon Lords.
yeah,
And I was looking through the lore because you know how much you love
yeah. I love
lore.
lore.
Yeah.
People are always saying that about
But
me.
what they're like, and here are the names of the different titans and gods, and I swear to God, one of them is named Ketamine.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Happily, the ceremonial blades stood up to the challenge of fighting the pitiful creature. Not that you were worried. Your mother has wizards constantly after your safety and your siblings from far. You realize at the start that you aren't sure if they were watching now. Alas, the creature was not one lone beast that snuck in through your defense. The sound of battle continues outward. So you know, like
There's
that's
a
one of
whole
the things
bunch
that
of pathetic creatures to. Did it pee on the floor? Do they pee green?
I don't know. I what I was gonna say is that names are so words are really hard. Names are really hard, and you
Yeah.
know, it's like there's a lot of times where like stuff has you will have stuff that no one's ever said out loud, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like until you know, I've seen plenty of times where someone says a word out loud and then they get mocked for getting it wrong. And it's like, well, no, they had
Hmm.
no idea. It was the first time they actually
Oh no!
vocalized
I
it.
mean that was my child because I read,
Yeah,
you know, and so every word I learned I was sounding out phonetically.
yeah,
You know, I didn't know their origins, so yeah, like yeah, I would have a lot of weird stares at
for
me.
sure.
Um,
You are in Port Osborne, a small plot of Haven's land on the south coast of Rockaj. You workers carry goods and emissaries like you out in the Rockjaw. Important people like you feast here. On the other side of the great oak table, you can see a young royal warrior. He is wiry, strong, and fearless in the way of his people. You meet his gaze. His features look strangely familiar, yet you see them in Vegas way in the mirror of every morning. And then he howls when he's up and charges. So I really think more games should include the pronunciation keys for any word they give that is not
yeah,
like very, very basic. Oh, hoppy little boys.
yeah.
Brutal blow, whirlwind attack, blinding blow. Brutal blow. Well, that was brutal.
Damn! You snatched his wig off.
No, I
I
think it's the
like. I
tile.
I do kind of like how they fall off the screen. Like
Yeah, yeah.
they go flying off the screen. That's kind of a satisfying.
I this is series. This developer's been working for ages
Hmm.
in making the same basic, like their engine hasn't changed. Like
Yeah.
I applaud them for sticking to it. Like engines are really expensive, and you know, zooming out to like, is the game industry healthy for 2024? It's okay to make small stuff. Like this game I got for like $10. I mean, the list price is 29 Canadian, so like 25, 20 US.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know what a game is worth. I'm never gonna talk about the price, but like you
I mean, this does not seem to me like it's going to be a small game.
oh no, it's long. These are always very long games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a how long to beat on this, but you have a sick feeling. It's not killing assassins. This is the first time you've killed. Not the first time you killed. You have defended yourself many times in Sacramento. But this is no raider or brigand. This is a rebel. The Rocha has a long history of rebelling against those who would try to control. The rebellions are bloody, brutal affair, grim botcheries, history books. It gets eerie quiet outside. You sudden need to find Sutter. Your brother stands to inherit the throne. He would be a valuable target. Valuable target. Oh, nice autosave. I appreciate that. What is
Hmm.
this? That's a harp.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of animation. A little bit of um, you know, lots of sound effects, not a lot of volume control.
Yeah.
But like what I liked about the first one was when I got into the fact that like you could make a lot of choices. Like you don't have to do what your mommy tells you.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot because it gave you a lot of freedom in how you want to explore. Like you just basically are dumbed up like go wherever you want
Yeah.
and do whatever you want.
Yep.
Oh, our first dialogue choice. I'm itching here. Let's do it. Fortunately, it doesn't take long to find Sutter. Your older brother is just standing outside the hall, sword and drawn, alone. Your royal guard is nowhere to be seen. He says, "Good morning, Couscous." He doesn't look at you, though. His gaze is fixed on the gardens to the south. He knows that you are wounded. Clumsy. Here, sip this. He hands you a taste of rain from a flask. You hear people rustling in the shadowy undergrowth. Good morning. I'm so glad I found you. Ah, I was just attacked.
I'm glad I found you something is terribly wrong. We'll play this straight.
Yeah. You aren't wrong. Someone is trying to kill us. Not ideal. I had a thought a few might slip past me into the hall. Glad you dealt with them. Maybe you can help me with these. He nods towards the trees.
Where is our guard?
Where's our guard?
Yeah.
North. I set to chase down some raiders who were strolling off. Didn't realize how many were still in the port. Oh well. This guy is so nonchalant.
Yeah, well, I think there was someone in the bushes.
Prince Sutter chuckles. Thank you for the vital intelligence, brother. I thought at first that they were squirrels. Thanks to you, I know that they are people who want to kill us. They're getting closer. You can see the faces of the young royal warriors, perhaps kin to you, to the one you slew inside.
Uh,
It's tough.
yeah, I guess let's try to spare them.
Some of them are. We should try to spare them.
Yeah.
Sutter looks at you incredulously. Ugh, they try to assassinate the royalty of Haven. Their lives are forfeit. Letting them live sends a very bad example to the world. Come on, out cowards. Come on, out cowards. The raiders oblige him. Royal warriors and cow wolves spring from the bushes. Sutter says, stay close to me, and then leaps into battle. Oh, jeez. I guess we go into combat mode.
Yeah, oh jeez. Damn.
Okay, well, I guess... Oh, I should use my abilities. Oh, wait, no. Whirlwind. Oh, I hit my brother. I think. I don't know.
I didn't look like he took damage.
Okay. I am very happy that the experience numbers are like 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleve, got them both.
Nice.
Oh, we got a party now.
Huh.
Oh, this guy took my face and cut my hair.
Yeah.
I should look for more foes. A horn sounds. Your warriors march into the port from the north. They have seen battle, but they have suffered no losses or wounds. Sutter, here's a report. They dispatched several raiders and cowwolves, but the rest escaped to the northeast. Sutter makes chopping motion with his hand and splits off 3 warriors to protect you. Then he takes on to think. We must speak, Couscous. Fast action is necessary. Where is he? He is... we got an achievement! Now that the nearby raiders are dead and the guards have returned, Sutter relaxes his ear and swagger, and a infuriating smile returns and immediately resumes. He walks over to you and clasps you on the arm. At least our visit here won't be all royal feasts and boring speeches.
We didn't have... Oh, I like we've hunted the most dangerous game.
He laughs. That's the spirit. A bright attitude and a miserable
Yeah.
situation is the way of the Havanite warrior. Just don't get too casual. The royal man have many truly fierce warriors. We need to learn if any of them are about. We don't know how much uprising is happening. There's much work to do. Get a ship and leave. Hunt down more raiders. Build up defenses.
Let's put up the port's defenses.
Sutter looks at the hull of Port Oswald with a disdain look. Haven can live without the port for a while. No new ships are near. We must secure our fortifications and learn who attacked us and why. I have your orders. Where do you want me to go? Our guards saw an abandoned of raiders fleeing the northeast. I'll hunt them. You must secure their defenses so that if we face serious enemies, we have a place where we can survive. You may move. You need to move north to Fort Meadow 4 and make it ready. I have a better plan. What's Fort Meadow 4?
Okay.
Do I have a better plan?
How do I get to Fort Meadow 4? Like, all right, fine.
Leave the port to the north. Don't worry about retaking the other buildings. They aren't worth the risk and you aren't prepared. Leave the port and follow the road north. Avoid strangers. When you get to Fort Meadow 4, our general will help you prepare our defenses. Do you want to offer a different plan?
Nah, let's just do it.
Okay, I'll see it.
See you at Fort... Yeah.
Agree, good hunting. We'll clean up this mess and go home at last. This will make a nice change from the tedium to diplomacy. He has a good laugh and then gathers the warriors, runs off north.
Let's go kill! Hooray!
Hooray! Okay, so we have characters.
Yay. Elspeth.
She's another warrior. Support.
Looks like
At healing.
maybe a healing, okay.
Magic. No cultural.
Aww.
Oh, culture is, that's right. They have different, you can swap out your people for different
Yeah.
backgrounds. So like cultural will be like, you know, people from this area do certain things. All right.
They be walking like this, whereas people from this
Yeah.
area, they be walking like this.
I remember properly, you can just like respec at any time in a certain way, but
Yeah.
you know. All right. So what are your early impressions?
I mean, it's, like, it's a really, I would say, like, especially,
Really
again, I kind of
tactical.
look at this as, like, if I was in high school, I would probably just devour the shit out of
Oh,
this
sure.
game,
This is very
you
Ultima
know?
style, like
Yeah.
almost exactly. Once you clear Port Oswald,
Mhm.
look around Prince Sutter, and you spend 3 days since your arrival to Rogue hunting these valleys. It's normal terrain in the Rogue tight valleys broken by sharp spire stone. Down here in the gentle coast, the land is green, nourished by frequent rains. Once you leave the coast, the terrain gets hostile quickly. You advance careful, looking for raiders, bandits, other violent opportunists. Happily, none are visible. So yeah, like you just go out, like there's no
Yeah.
timer really. You can just
Mhm.
walk around and oh, do we go here?
Ooh. Is that
You meet
you meet
someone.
someone?
Just
Hi.
attack. You find a camp of dirty Pulver warriors hidden in the cove of the rocky shore. They're swarthy.
Mm.
I don't know what that means. Protected by iron
Um,
armor.
Dorothy is like, how shall I put this?
Buff.
The kind of like husky and greasy.
Oh, okay.
um,
They must be raiders down from the Hills low Daga. This is both a very bold bunch, and the presence is not unusual. The row are robbing and raiding each other constantly, or maybe they're part of the bands that's sent to kill you. When you come into view, they grab the weapons. The leader cautiously approaches. I am Kessa. We know you. You're Couscous. We saw your ship come in. We are raiders of this weak coast. We have no business with you. Leave. That's Prince
you just
Couscous.
you first of all, like, you don't introduce yourself and say, I'm a raider.
Maybe
Like,
they do here.
yeah, it just seems like, maybe that's not the best. Like, I'm a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a problem with you, but I am gonna, like, attack and probably kill innocent people in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
area.
Um,
Um,
I yelled with
yeah,
attack.
I would say, are you allied with those who attacked us?
We know nothing about plenty of here. Hate Haven now. We don't aren't involved. Leave us. Oh, well, we have
Uh, Haven does not allow banditry.
Kessa picks some dirt up under his Kessa picks some dirt out from under her fingernails. Uh, do we care?
Uh, let's. I mean, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, I would say we should probably just destroy you
Really?
because, well, yeah, they're bandits. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they're gonna attack and hurt and maybe kill. You know, like, this isn't like, oh, I've caught. I stole a loaf of bread. This is like, I am literally going to attack people. You know.
Yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Oh, they tough.
I don't know if
I take it back.
I take it back.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured, like, this was a bad idea. Oh, damn.
Uh,
But, like, yeah, this is one of those things where you kind of, like, this is informative about the game, even though it's going to require a reload.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, it's not the end yet.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have whirlwind.
Uh
Well, that's unfortunate.
oh.
I think we could have made this work if we would have had a little bit better
Yeah.
prep.
Like I said, I think this is kind of one of those, like, and that you don't really get a lot of these anymore, but I remember these in early RPGs of, like, you're gonna die. And
Yeah.
by dying, like, you're going to learn something about, like, what is and is not a realistic,
Yeah. I
you know,
think so this is the random encounter.
hmm
So we'll see if these are much more our speed here.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think that it's okay to have the world like show you off the beginning, like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Like that
Yeah,
is
and I do, like, I do appreciate when a game is like, I'm not gonna coddle you.
yeah. Yeah.
Um I think that there is still something to be said for a quality of life of, the whole idea of, like, when you're playing a game and there's like a skull next to the, to the
Right.
person's name, like, you really, like, most people know when they can or cannot take something, you
Mhm.
know? Like, most people do have a good idea, like, if I get into this fight, I will or will not win.
Yeah, I mean, they
And
didn't jump us. Like we talked ourselves into that.
yeah, right. But it's like at the same rate, there was no kind of indication in the game of like, hey, these guys look really tough. Maybe, maybe not a good idea right out the gate. Um,
No, that's fair. That's fair. Ooh, what is that?
Woof. Oh,
Ooh.
oh.
This is my healer, so we'll cast Bless.
Ooh.
Ooh. Whoops.
I do kind of like that it's a large party size.
Oh yeah.
This is, usually you're used to like, a four people, even though sometimes that doesn't even make any sense.
Well, this one is
You know,
we have more because we have our allies, but yeah, like
right.
giving you a little bit more space.
Well, yeah, like in Baldur's Gate, like, why would you leave half your party back in camp?
Right.
You know? Like, why? Like, you're literally about to go and just, like, get into a fight with a bunch of gnolls. Take everybody! you know?
Right.
Do you know the difference between a gnoll and not a gnoll? Then you can come along with us. So.
No, you got it. Like I think there is definitely an aspect to this where, yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of like I always remember this like from the Buffy the Vampire stuff, where it was like, if they had cell phones and they would never have an episode, like,
Yep.
and some of this, like so many games have dozens, if not hundreds of characters in it, and you're just like, why are we staying at the base? And I really do wish more games were like, here is stuff that needs to be going on in the background.
Yeah.
Like if it's one of your party-based RPGs, something like that, like someone
Yeah.
needs to be tending something or building
Right.
something or stuff like that.
Yeah. There was actually a really good thing I was watching. Overly Sarcastic Productions, she did a thing about cell phones.
Okay.
And how they are so ubiquitous now that even games where it would be anachronistic, or even not games, even like media where a cell phone technology is anachronistic,
Yeah.
there are still cell phones because people cannot appreciate this concept of a world where instant communication is no longer possible. So like in
Once we had
Castlevania,
the Star Trek communicators, you're like, how do you put this back in the bottle?
right, exactly. But like even in like high fantasy, like the Castlevania series on Netflix, they have a freaking cell phone. They have
Do
this
they?
like magic mirror that they can like, this one guy, he can like use it to like talk to people who are on the other side of the world. And it's like, and she pointed out, like, which I kind of had the same thought of, like, why would you take the like narrative, there is so much narrative good soil for
Yeah.
person A does not know what person B is up to, and person A cannot communicate a change of situation to person B because there are hundreds of miles between them, and there's no such thing as cell phones in Fantastic World A.
Right.
And so it's just really fascinating to me that like you see this in, there kind of always been like this idea of like communication that can happen over great distances.
Yeah.
Like the Palantir, in Lord of the Rings was a sort of communication device. But but like more than that, it was like, well, they have to like Rohan has to light the fires, they have to light the signal fires of Rohan to call for aid, and so this idea that we've just kind of given up on that idea that like there's so much narrative to be mined when their distance is between two people and they don't have a mechanism for communicating with one another, to the point where like when you have these, a lot of genres, like the horror genre, what's the
Yeah.
first thing that happens?
No
You
signal.
enter a
Yeah.
you lose your phone battery dies, you're in a dead zone, whatever, because it's like the second you have access to instant communication,
It all goes
all
out the window.
tension goes
Yeah.
away.
Well, let's
Anyhow.
look into this here because I was progressing a little bit while we were chatting.
Yeah.
So I've seen firsthand a comment where you are, however, salting Raider strong alone be. Prince Edward is very insistent you'd be happy to help. Happy. There are 3 soldiers you escorted here are still available. Here, 3 warriors. I could actually use a lot more, like 50. General Miz gives you a weak smile. Usually those are on stealthy diplomatic missions, traveling with smaller complement. Also, 3 is all we have to spare. My apologies. When you are ready, please find me in the office.
Okay.
So like at least there's a nod to it. I mean, you're absolutely right,
We are under attack.
I want to recruit. I need to recruit soldiers.
Yes.
Sorry, just a moment. Edit your party.
All right.
Oh yeah, so that's us. And we have that's
Well,
our
we have 4
type.
more. Do we have 4 more slots that we can?
Oh, we could do more. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, we can't make them until we establish ports in those lands. That's cool.
Oh.
So we unlock more stuff there. That's cool.
Okay. I like that.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that guy's got a bad attitude.
All right. So then edit. Okay, so we could change their looks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is our, you can build up your fort. There's a huge city building aspect to it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I actually always did like kind of like base building as part of an RPG. Neverwinter Nights
Right.
2 had it, and I remember really liking that Neverwinter Nights 2.
Yeah, so we get all our skill points back. So we could put in haste or heal or passive or always active damage bonus. That's nice. Heal all allies. So like, I found these games to be pretty like it doesn't look like a lot of choices, but like there's plenty for me to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you can also like rebuild a lot of stuff and build your fort up and stuff like that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the general.
Well, this looks like it needs it. I mean, there's a bunch of.
Oh yeah, we were in disrepair.
Yeah.
Now what? There is something he wants you to do, not me, of course. Never get orders, world heaven, but well, he told me to have something to say. What? Go to the lighthouse. Why don't you go there and retake it?
Virginia Woolf to the lighthouse. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. It's about slow-paced, feminist, like proto-feminist. Okay.
I'm level 1. It said I got enough experience to level. There we go.
There we go.
I mean, we might as well just keep going up.
Yeah.
I like Whirlwind more, to be honest.
Yeah, whirlwinds seem to be pretty badass.
I don't mind having 2 warriors,
Yeah.
Bless. What are your feeling on like cleric spells? I always feel cleric spells are like anything that's not a direct heal.
I'm actually about to play a cleric in our new game, and I'm like, it's almost in a way I feel like it's kind of an argument of like, okay, I'm just gonna take a back seat,
Yeah.
I'm not actually gonna but some of the 5e cleric spells are pretty like they have some pretty crazy cleric spells now. Spiritual guardians is insane. You basically are surrounded by like a blender that will just destroy anything in your path. Some of the cleric stuff is decent. But yeah, I mean, you when you play a cleric, you're kind of resigning yourself. Like, I'm going to be a support person. I'm not gonna,
Right. I also find that like, a lot of times the amount of stuff is just, I think D&D has too many spells, to be honest.
Mhm.
4 is not in good shape. Kind of possible to say the
I
truth.
agree. I mean, it's it's fun because it's like this little toolbox that you have as a player.
Yeah.
My concern with the way that D&D has spells is that a lot of them feel like they feel like a remnant of the wargaming days,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
and so instead of it being campaign driven and things being story driven, it's like this is the tool to solve problem X.
Right.
So it's like, instead, like, if you get, if you and in your party, they delve down into a dungeon, a long forgotten temple, and in the very, like, inner sanctum, surrounded by runes that, nobody can read because they're, thousands and thousands of years old from a dead culture, and you find this magical item that's mysterious and you have no idea what it does. Well, you just cast identify,
Yeah.
and it's like, so I tend to, like, kind of homebrew a lot of those, of, like, if it's something, kind of depending on the rarity of the object, identify is going to be more or less useful.
Yeah.
um
Well, like
but it's
this
like,
this was interesting here. It was like these talents here,
mhm.
I can't buy any of these until I learn them. I have to find someone in the
Oh,
world to teach
okay.
me. I mean, that's like, but like your point, like,
Interesting.
why does everybody have the same gosh darn fireball?
Yeah.
Why, like, oh, I got to the bottom of this thing, and what the lich casts normal spells. Like, shouldn't there be
Yeah.
like everything should have a different flavor to it, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I really like, when I'm running a game. Like, if I ever break out a hag, watch your ass, because, like, the idea with hags is, like, they have weird magic, and so the idea is, like, that they're not, like, it's not going to be, you're not necessarily going to be able to counter spell, because you have no idea what her magic is even doing.
Yeah.
You have no idea what she's doing. Like, her magic is so weird and so otherworldly that the idea that you're going to be able to counter what she's doing, like, yeah, I mean, technically you could, like, shut down the weave around her or something like that, but, again, like, they hags are weird. you know
Oh yeah.
and so I really like stuff like that. I like things where it's like, no, you can't just shut this whole thing down with, this spell that is a third level, like, this third level spell is not going to be able to overcome this, like, ancient, lich from beyond, from beyond time,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Exactly. And it's always a little weird when things work that way, but like I don't know if there's a better solution for it. Like
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, are you just twiddling some knobs on the VFX
Mhm.
slider? Like that's enough.
Right.
I felt the same way that, like, you know, you play like World of Warcraft, like everybody
Yeah.
looks the same. They added eventually
Mhm.
transmog and stuff to make difference, but like for quite a while,
Yeah.
quite a long while, it was like, well, this is what we have, so we'll
Yeah.
just look this way, and if you don't like it, well, sorry,
Yeah.
I should have bought some equipment.
Yeah. And I think, um again, it's like, you got it, but you also, in the other sense, like, being the age that we are, you we also grew up during Gygaxian D&D, which
Yeah,
was, the DM is the adversary of the party, and
right.
I like that 5e, that's not the case anymore, that it's everybody is working together to, like, have this fun and have
Collaborative
this adventure.
storytelling. Yeah,
Right, but at the same rate, as a DM, when, your job is to tell a compelling story and get the players invested in this, like, world, and in this, and in the the problem at hand. There was a really good uh quote from, I think it was, like, Brennan Lee Mulligan was talking to Matt Mercer or something like that, and he said, like, the players are like water on a hill. They are trying to find the fastest, most efficient way down the hill.
yeah.
They are trying to solve the problem in front of them.
Water finds a
The
crack. Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, like, they just want to get to the bottom of the hill. Your job as the DM is to make that path interesting, so that it's not just a straight path down the hill. It's not to stop the water from getting
yeah.
down the hill. It's to make it so that, like, the water has an interesting, like, the way that the way that it, like, zigzags down the hill is interesting for the players,
And I think
so that
that
they
is,
have,
yeah, I think that's absolutely right, and it's a good point to bring up. And for me, one of the things is that, like, I play a game, and my most important thing is like, how was the pacing and spacing? Did I feel like this
Yeah.
game was worth my time, or am I sitting here going like, I just wanted it to end? Like so many games I play,
Right.
because I played some recently, I was just like,
Yeah.
could I please not do your combat ever again?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in like an overly negative way. I don't mean that in like they did something wrong. It's just I have so little time. If I was playing with a GM, I'd be like, hey, buddy, we're not enjoying combat. Can we do more
Yeah.
diplomacy, or can we just,
Yeah.
give us some better dice rolls or whatever? Because if we only have 3 hours to play, and we spend 2 hours and 50 minutes, crunching numbers and doing stuff, you have to know for sure your players want that.
Right.
And even games I love, like the Persona games, like I really enjoy the Persona games. And then after like 3 hours, or sorry, not three, after like 30 hours, I'm like, I just don't want to do the combat anymore. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not being dismissive or rude to the game. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes that's what it takes.
I mean, for me, it's like the game. What makes a game interesting for me, apart from narrative, is is getting into that GUI interaction of like, if so for example, they were talking about like they're on this boat, the boat has mounted crossbows on it. That's just it was just literally part of the map, that came, like this map pack I got. And so they were talking about like, well, can we use these crossbows? It's like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like interact with your environment. Don't just like, like a boat is not just a street that happens to be on water. Like there are parts of, like there's the below deck, there's all of that. So,
But
I
like
think
that's the same thing. Like if
really,
your players say they want to engage the boat, like
yeah,
a lot of times, that's the advantage of D&D. You could say, okay, the boat's now something you can engage with, but many games are like,
yeah,
we didn't make boat music, we didn't make
right.
boat anything. So
Yeah, that boat was not meant to be animated. That
was not a plot bearing boat.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
mean, we're gonna wrap up here on this, and like we've been talking over it.
yeah, I mean, honestly, watching this, like, this seems like a pretty snappy.
It's
like
moving
the
at a good
combat
clip.
here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the difficulty is very customizable, but like I'm looking at this going like, what makes it interesting to me is like and this is based on the first one, my knowledge of the first one is that you I should read that book, is that you don't have to do what the game tells you. And I think that's one of the things that was delivered well in the first game, because like they were giving like, you can just go, there are 4 quadrants of this world, figure it out. And I really like that, because it gave me a chance to be like, well, do I actually want to do what Mummy says, or do I want to be the rogue vagabond who does it? And the game was like, you need to decide and pick those choices. What's in the pot? Copper bits.
And I mean that kind of low fidelity, because they're not spending all their money on voice acting. They're not spending all of their money on, getting like the top notch artists to, render these, like, and doing all of these like, high fidelity animations. And so they can just kind of invest in like, well, we want story, and we want choice. And that's where the money went on this game. That's where the money and the time went. And everything else is just like, yeah, if you don't like kind of, 16-bit graphics, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Like this is what we got. Like, we're telling a story here, and if it's too ugly for you, go download Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah. Well, this has been Queen's Wish 2, the Tormentor. If you want a game that is more story, more systems than fidelity, this is definitely right for it. I like these games. I'll probably give it a positive review, even though we only played 35 minutes of it. But yeah.
yeah,
Cheers.
no, I mean, yeah, cheers.